Ooh, we're doing 3 of those, yeah. What time is it? Okay, I will have to go to bed soon. So the situations I would describe as like there was an interaction. To me, it seemed it kind of makes sense if it's this sort of interaction. But then, like, who is the actor? Who's the other actor in this situation? Like, what kind of motivations might have brought that person to do that? And I would never get any fucking useful answers, because people would say, they're just envious or something. I'm like, what does it mean? I don't know what that means. So my situations like have been much shorter, and I remember like maybe 1 or 2 or 3, I don't know, kind of longer ones, but it's more like a story. I don't really. It's not a question. Like, I feel that this post and those discussions people try to have with me, poor people, are questions. I think I'm just telling a story. So like, while I was gone and you were here at home, this thing happened to me, which created so much confusion and distress in me. And it went like this, and like now I have this in my experience. And I think the need that I try to satisfy with this story is just like, let's do YouTube. Yeah, like sometimes people tell stories on YouTube, and then like there are comments and they're like, ooh, like, man, that was like, oh yeah, that must have been tough on you. That's what do people say? I just recently saw a thing like that, and there were comments, and then I checked them, and like you're so brave for telling that. I don't want that, but I don't want those exact phrases, but like it's just this kind of like a few sentences, a reaction of like, oh, okay, so that this and that happened and it caused you these feelings, and like, yeah, I heard you, like, oh, okay, that's like if I fell off of a bike, and I'm like, oh, like I have a cracked rib, and like I have this like big fucking scratch here, and I have a concussion, and and they would say, oh, like concussion, I also had a concussion like 10 years ago, and my head would spin. Does your head spin? So like, yeah, like it kind of does. And like, but I'm hoping it's gonna get better. And they would say, yeah, like I hope it's gonna get better. Like, and the rib, like, are you doing anything for the rib? And I'm like, yeah, like I went to the doctor. So this kind of things, it's just kind of like a fact. I'm giving a fact that this, whatever. I kind of worked through the situation myself, and I'm not saying that I reached like, oh, I understand everything, because I understand nothing, but the gears kind of rotated, and then they came to like, oh, some configuration, and I moved on to something else, but it's just now a fact, a story that is connected to some kind of like emotional responses and like thoughts in my brain, and I can tell about it to my friend or like to my partner or to whatever. There is no question there. And when I have questions, it's like very short situations, like I threw them oh crap! I threw a tangerine at them, and they ate dog's homework. This I didn't expect that. Like, what I kind of expected this and that, like maybe them catching the tangerine or like saying like stop fucking throwing tangerines at me, but instead they fucked the dog and bit its ass or whatever, and like um to me that seems that this kind of reaction is, it's possible because they took the throwing of the tangerine like this way. Do you think it's like, oh, like do you think my like this trail of thought that I'm having, this line of thinking, like, is it insane or like is it more or less reasonable? Do you think this could have happened? Like, do you have any other ideas? Like, do you have any other interpretations of why someone might have like shit in a vase that a sumo fighter threw because I gave him a tangerine? And like, what kind of person, like with what kind of inner motivations, with what kind of like personality, character structure, or like attitude towards me, whatever, like what kind of person could that have been? Because I didn't know people could be like that, and apparently they kind of can. So like, have you, so there's this, and I don't get any answers. I never get any answers. The point of this is I mean, first of all, I write cool literature with maths in it. Second, like, can someone fucking study my mind? Can somebody fucking study my brain? Because something there really prevents me from being able to do, like, to engage with this and to understand this and to mentally manipulate this. Like, it's like I'm disabled. And now I mean like in a normal way, not like, oh, I'm not operational because I'm in water now and I should be in oil. No, I mean like, it's like a disability, and like, but what kind of, what causes it? And like, what do I do? I mean, apart from stopping, like I should never do that again, because like I just understood that, like, I don't like it. The gears start turning. It's just that this, my boyfriend loves to, he wants to eat it, his favorite, but it's expensive, and so it's kind of like, here is the given information, and here is the equation, and so this is what my brain wants to do, is like solve these things, so it immediately catches my brain's attention, but like, it's a fucking nonsense, and I don't want to do that. In the process, I'm hurting. My brain is just going nuts, and I don't enjoy it. So I will not do this. I will not do this. Or peel. Oh, I'm gonna wear a very dirty coat where I'm going. Look very odd and out of place. I'm looking forward to it. like, my point is like, is there anyone, like, has anyone studied this, what I'm having? Like, is anyone aware that it's a thing, that it's possible to be like that? Has anyone like conceptualized it? Like, is it described anywhere? Has anyone like else experienced it? I'm assuming like some people must have experienced it, and like, can we be studied? Can we be like, can we have some kind of science and analysis? Can some science and analysis be applied to this phenomenon? And then like the other patients, I just think they would love to connect with just other people who were like, oh shit, yeah. It's like, you know, like with answering questionnaires, the quizzes, like, are you high masking or are you low? I'm like, I cannot do those. I'm like, and I for many years I would be like talking about it, and people would be looking at me like, what do you mean? But then, because I now consume some autistic content, I thought people that, oh, okay, they also don't understand these quizzes. They cannot answer them. They don't. They become dysfunctional there, like not operational, and so do I. And I'm like, oh, okay. So that is autism. But like, I would love someone to fucking study it properly, not like in the quizzes, because those hurt my brain. That they're not legit. I'll have to talk about it separately. Kind of like, you know, form like hypothesis and like do testing and like draw conclusions and like say that further research and money is necessary in the topic or something. Can I like, I want some analysis of this. But at least with like the fucking questionnaires, the quizzes, are like, I now know that, oh, okay, so it's a thing. There are minds that can't do that. And now like, I have a mind that like, I cannot do this. So I would love to also, if there is someone that also cannot do that, I would love to like just talk to them, like to learn about their experience with that, and like maybe how they treated that, how they acted in these situations, and maybe kind of like, maybe they have some other, probably because they're a different person, they have some other like insights into what it causes them, and then they have some ideas, and I have some ideas, and we can share, and we can kind of like map some kind of little understanding of it. I would love that. For now, I only have my ideas, and like, I'm dumb. And like, don't get me wrong, I'm pretty smart, but I'm kind of dumb in this way, and like disabled and R-worded. Like, I'm not in the derogatory sense, like I'm just, the mechanism is not mechanisming, it's just, it's inert. It needs much more fuel to then start. So with these situations, I kind of basically need to know everything to be able to somehow actually contribute to this discussion. I would need to have like a map, kind of detailed and accurate and like tested. So through the interactions, a map of the people involved in the situation. So of their kind of like traits and characters and values and like patterns of behavior and their kind of like emotional range. So I would need to know them. I would need to have like a little person in my head. And I wonder, like, how do people do that? Are they able to create little people in their heads using whatever information it's here? And there is some, but it's very vague, and like it's not a person, it's not enough for a person, but like, are they just so much brighter than me? And like, are they magicians? Are they wizards? Do they tap into some like fountain of fucking knowledge of like people creating in their brain, or like, are they tapping into something else that is not actually real? Like it's not actually these people. Do they have like the model of a person stored in their brain and they just apply it? But then like how? Like, or like, do they apply themselves? But then again, how? I mean, I cannot. Not because I'm like, oh, that's bad, that's like, it's other people and it's me, we're all so different. I physically and mentally fucking can't. I'm like, okay, her boyfriend loves stew and he wants to eat it every day for every meal. I like stew, but I don't want to eat it every day for every meal. And there are kind of, I'm not sure I can actually find an experience in my life that matches this one. And I don't have information. Like, let's say, I don't know, I thought like, for example, I drink always something with my meal, usually tea, because otherwise just it gets stuck in here and like it's painful, but whatever. That's the food video. But like, is it that I want to do it? Or like, what does this he wants to eat it every day actually means? What is it made of? What kind of want is that? What kind of person is that? Like, what creates? What kind of like physical, mental, emotional circumstances of this person's existence make it so that he wants to eat this stew? Before I know it, like, and I know that I'm not, like, I don't have that. And like, any kind of approximation I can create, which I can't, is not good enough. It's different. And it's not that I'm stopping myself, like, no, like, no. I cannot, like, we have to keep in mind that this is a different, no. This shit decides that, no, it will not do that. I can't. It's different. And this thing, me, I perceive it as different, and I cannot combine that. I need to know the exact information there, the exact circumstances. So I wonder also, like, how do people do that? Do they not need to know? Those are autistic people. And a lot of those in the discussion in the comments, they were autistic. So I feel that this thing in my head that I just described now, it is autism. It's because I've seen kind of things like that, and like in how people talk about things. So this is kind of like the brain structure that creates this. The meat forces me to have this way of thinking and perceiving and mental manipulation. They also kind of have this kind of very similar meat, but then there were some people, like hundreds of fucking people discussing it, and they are autistic. So what if we have like meats this similar, what kind of like psyche does it create in them that it allows them to do these mental operations? And like, what kind of psyche do I have that it is just, it does not do that? It only does stupid math and genius writing. Anyway, I think I got to the point. I will have to think about that's good. About the name for this video. There is a topic. Well, what is it? What is the topic of this video? Send letters. Tell me what the topic of this video was.